Hi, and welcome to Odyssey of Ascension. This is Roxy. Thanks once again for tuning in. Today is Q&A. We're going to do it today and Friday because we get a lot of questions. So we're going to run for about an hour today and then finish up on Friday. And then we'll do another one in a month from there. So keep the questions coming, and I'll put it out like a week before to start sending the questions in before the next Q&A. And we'll go from there. Okay? Everyone's cell phone's good? Off and ready to go? Beautiful. Alright, so Rita's going to read the questions and we'll answer them and see what else is in there. Thanks again for tuning in. And greetings once again to the collective. This is Ocyphius from the Oversoul Collective Fire. We bid you a good day. Excellent. That idea is now upon us. Q&A time. And we will answer these questions in accordance with what you are right now. You may have wrote the question a week ago, and that answer would have been different because you are now a new person. So everything you get in the now is the perfect now of you. Always understand that. Very good. Yes. We would, let's say, offer an idea before we get that into the Q&A. We are just going to tickle this idea and let you ponder upon it, and we will elaborate upon it in another space-time now. Understanding, exchanging energy. You really could perceive, if you choose, to know that you are so intimately connected, each and every one of you. There is truly no one outside of you. You are all the same idea. The idea of the individual singularity of perspective, subjective universes, is how you create your own individual I am. But all of it is connected. I am reacting and acting here. You are acting and reacting there because of me here. I react to you because of your actions over there. There's truly no space. There's truly no time. There is only now. All of us being one idea body, moving in creation harmoniously, truly. Let that tickle. And we'll go from there. Now, Rita, let's begin. First question.
Maybe another good question would be, when the ETs come, are they going to like Latin music? Like salsa and merengue? Are we going to dance? That would be so much fun, I promise.
I love it.
That's
and yes.
Anthony R.
Anthony R. Wonderful. Most certainly, Anthony, you are the co-creator of your reality. You want that idea, aliens to come and like Latin music. You will attract those who, energetically rather, would want to experience that. So yes. Not all aliens will, just not all idea humans listen to Latin music. But pay them no never mind. Create your world. And most certainly they will come in and experience that idea of what humanity has to offer. Excellent. Next. This is a long question, my goodness.
Yes. Here's my question, and this is from Alarta R.A.
Alarta Ra.
Oh, Alarta Ra, okay.
Yes.
I understand that 144,000 original oversouls, comprising Earth consciousness, divide themselves into twin souls for the purpose of infinite possibilities of experience in different timelines.
Not all divide themselves into twin idea flames. There is no twin soul. Each individual idea is its own soul of itself. You can't divide yourself. So when you divide yourself into a twin flame, that twin flame still has an individual singularity perspective and has its own idea, self, soul in that idea. A memory bank, if you will. And the idea of 144,000 creating the idea of human consciousness is growing. Continue.
Okay, so I have a question. So, wouldn't anybody who is in your same oversoul be like a twin soul? And
Sure. It can be a twin soul, it can be a soulmate.
I mean, because it doesn't have to be a romantic partner,
Oh,
right?
of course not.
Yeah. Okay.
Romantic was the idea of the romance from human construct. I find my twin soul, my soulmate, my twin flame, and I can fall in love with that person. Truly, they're all you.
Right.
Mm.
Okay. In other words, whatever the original fractions of oversouls desire to experience, their twin soul would take that experience. Is that correct so far?
Mm-hmm.
If it is, then would it follow that original fractal only experience one particular life? For example, if I'm a fractal of original soul experiencing as me, then all my other incarnations anywhere else are of my twin soul.
You could say that, but it's part of your oversoul, if you want to say that.
Right.
But outside of your oversouls, they're still experiencing through you and your experience. However, it is through the individual singularity of perceiving your experience. I can never see what you understand because you are an individual singularity, period. You are subjective. But I get your experience by co-creating with you, by sharing your energy, but I still translate it in my way. Because it's me. I'm an individual singularity. Forever. Go ahead.
And if I have my twin soul incarnating with me in the same space-time, which fractions are then incarnating in all other realities? Mine or my twin souls, or both?
Both.
Yeah. Is there any difference between twin soul and twin flame, or it's all just semantics?
Semantics is truly twin flame. Again, we just explained the idea of souls.
Please, Roxy, squeeze this one in. There is so much confusion and unduly romanticism attached to the concept. I think it would be really beneficial to all to clear this up.
And it was, and we did.
Okay.
Excellent.
Awesome. Okay, so the next question is from Lydia. Hello, I have a question. So lately I've been lucid dreaming a lot more, and when I do, I notice that I dream in layers. It's kind of hard to explain it, but after lucid dreaming, I wake up into another dream, thinking it's reality, and this continues multiple times until I actually wake up. So I was wondering if this life is just another dream of sorts, and will I someday wake up from this in a way?
Of course.
Yeah.
When you go into a dream state and you're consciously aware you are in what you call lucid dreaming, you're just simply connecting to that vibrational state. You're ready to understand that other frequency. Many idea earthlings have dreams and they know it's a other self, and which is, let's say, another you in that space-time now, which is your conscious self over there, but they chalk it up to just the simplicity of dreaming. But truly it's another reality. And then you wake up from that dream into another dream and realize you're dreaming still. It's just another state of being, another frequency of experience that you're giving yourself the capability or ability, choose what you will, to experience. And then you finally, quote, get down to this one and wake up to where you know life truly is. But it's all life. It's all experience. It's all creation. None of it is the idea of a discounted idea of imagination or a dream state. It's just shifting rooms. And you are always experiencing. You are just experiencing those from the conscious self. You are expanding. You are remembering. You're becoming what you already are. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Okay, this is from Zeta Gray. Does my higher self have any messages for me?
Zeta. The idea of messages from your higher self. Choose. The idea of trusting you. You've always come to an idea of a formidable repetition of looking and waiting for validation from the outside to validate what you know is truth from the inside. So start choosing and trusting yourself and let go of waiting for that perfect moment to believe what's truly going on around you. What you want to believe. I want to believe in aliens. I want to believe in the idea of this idea, experience, forgetfulness, that I am a God, that there is life on other planets. All you have to do is choose. Every single one of you choose your reality according to what you feed it with. Your belief, your knowing, your wisdom. That kind of idea. So in other words, let go of waiting and start creating. Booyah. Next.
This is from Angela O, who would like, I guess, validation if she had alternate lives with her mom and or her current boyfriend.
Yes.
And if so, can I get a little info on one or two of them, what they were, and what role we played with each other?
Yes. We'll start with your idea mother. Your idea mother was a, let's say, was a idea current, now, role player of mother, and was a several times role player of mother as well. And sisters, and children, and father, and arch enemy, and guide. Upon many of your wakings from, let's say, this experience, what you call death, there as a guide for you to wake up. It's a best friend. It is a long-time companion in co-creation on earth. You all get together with groups of yourselves, parts of your oversoul in that term, and other parts from other oversouls that co-create. But you're truly connected in a different fashion. You just put the semantics in the way. So in that idea, your mother has been several ideas to you. Now, your boyfriend has been your idea lover many times, but mainly your boyfriend idealized your enemy, your one that would get under your skin, the one that actually killed you in battle at one time, and you, of course, killed him. In that idea on the battlefield in ages past. That kind of idea. But there's also several around you. Your friends, your strangers are once your connection of what you would call your husband, your wife, your lover. The idea of cheating spouses. Usually when you find that idea, it is a high probability of someone that a spouse cheats with, there's this connection and they're like, oh God, I just have to create with them, sex, whatever you call it. You just need to be with it because truly you're remembering the connection of your higher selves being buddies for years and years and years and co-creating in many different ways, and you long for that connection again, so you, let's say, break through all of the barriers of yourself and all the definitions that keep you from co-creating, and you quote cheat. That happens a lot. You co-create that to know there's no cheating. There's just loving in the moment. That kind of idea. But that's expansion for down the road for humanity to understand that you're not a monogamous being. So in that idea, know that your father, many times, your brothers, many times, your sisters, many times, have all been role players in your life. Simply, the accident that you got into a car accident, that person that you co-created with was there in past lifetimes as well. Your bosses, your clerk at the idea register, a friend, maybe your connection, your eye contact, you just know something is about them. They're a complete stranger, but you remember something inside of you. Follow that instinct in the moment. Let it unfold and let that idea, imagination start to breathe into your conscious mind and trust it. And then you'll know that connection. And don't think it's out of bounds. You don't need to share it. Just know it's that beauty of creation happening for you right now. Trust yourself.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. This is from Karen N. After 31 years with the same company, I was laid off. I soon realized
Congratulations.
I soon realized I actually got what I internally or mentally asked for. For years, the status quo and political BS in the office was getting old, and in my mind, I just didn't want the crap anymore. My early retirement has been wonderful for the past 2 years, but I feel as though I'm looking for something, new direction. But I just can't figure it out. Could you please tell me what you see me doing in the next phase of my life?
Yes. The idea of what you are looking for is going to remain a mystery as long as you use what your idea past experience as the pool of resources to create a new future. In other words, in the time that you've given yourself, your space and time of retirement to relax and enjoy life fully is being shielded in a way by your wanting to create something, but you're only using the past to try to find your joy. The idea of retirement is to stop, step back, and let go. Then joy comes in, little by little, bit by bit. Just anything. I'm going to give you an example. I want to be a simple idea of a Reiki healer. So I start the process. It feels pretty good. It's joyous. I like it. So I start the process of becoming a Reiki healer. A synchronistic idea comes into my life. A teacher, I become a student. I follow it, and then halfway through the program, it's not my highest joy anymore. But then there's something else. And that's where you shift to. You don't stay in the construct as you did in your career to stay with it because it means success. It means I'm doing something. Bullshit. You get to a point of now, and the now shifts, and the now shifts, and it offers something else. But without following the Reiki idea, you don't get to see the other reality because it's unconceivable from you way back here where you are now. But you get to that now by following a joy, anything, and then it shifts and offers you a higher. So you let go of Reiki, and then poof, you're a hypnotherapist. Something like that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's no purpose of anything that's going to give you a definable outcome of the future of comfort or security or success or failure. It's just freaking now. And then you can find your joys in the moment. And then you're jack of all trades and a master of all of them as well. You just be the moment and explore. You have everything you need. You gave yourself this platform to spring off of. Your early retirement. You got it all. Now play. Get into the playground. Bring your pail. Bring your shovel and start creating that castle as you choose. And when this part of the castle's over, shift to the next and shift to the next. And then all of a sudden you have a bigger sandbox. And then you start to go and play over there and play. And then you realize your sandbox has no edges and it's forever. And all you're doing is playing. You're a garden full of gods. And you are representing how to play in this garden of gods. Period. So be that. Let go of any idea of your 31 years of experience of what it means to be idealized successful. Because that's what's keeping you in the idea of waiting what I'm supposed to do. Because you're trying to define off the past what success is going to be. What's going to be my joy. When it's truly right there, start following it and let it shift, let it shift, let it shift. And then you will find magic. Magic. Just freaking beautiful moments of freedom, enjoyment, happiness. And not happiness that can be attained from an idea from the past. Because that's the illusion. Truly. Good.
Okay, this is from Angela G. Hi, Roxanne. I wondered
Angela.
if you or Ocyphius had an answer for this question that I'm curious about.
Sure we do.
When a medium channels or connects with a person's dead loved one, does the deceased person, if they've moved on to another life, cease to communicate with the living?
Of course not.
Or
There's no not connecting. Or what?
Or does a part of them continue to be contactable even if
Oh,
they've
of
decided
course.
to live another life? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're always contactable. Everyone is always contactable in the idea of a fractal. Let's say if Roxy wants to connect with, let's say, Aunt Marion. A very close Aunt Marion. Aunt Marion currently now is another human being. Passed on, reincarnated. So she talks to Aunt Marion as the construct of her understanding of that person and that person's higher self, the understanding of all that is. The fractal, she doesn't connect with unless the fractal is open to connect and understand that possibility of creation. Make sense?
Yes.
So, yes, you always can connect to any of your past idea, friends that have moved on, family members that have moved on. That construct is there forever, and they can speak from that construct as the limited idea. They can speak from that construct of that limited idea and the higher self idea. That kind of idea. Most don't speak from the perspective of only the limited idea because that would require a time jump, and then that frequency exchange would be most disruptive, wouldn't be tuned in unless that other person that passed on was very awake when they left. And that'll become more prevalent as down the road comes. Kind of a, let's say, anomaly in the idea. Because forgetfulness is a big idea. It has a lot of games in it. Truly. Make sense?
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay, this is from Ivana.
Hmm.
Hello, Roxanne.
Hello.
Some theories are that before we're born, we choose carefully our mission and every major event to the detail. That means our future is predestined. Another theory saying that we create everything, even though, no, that we create everything, create another, and so on. Oh, okay, I'm not sure what that means. Not sure is...
She's trying to figure out the difference between, is it destiny? Sounds like.
Not sure does that mean our thoughts chooses to create what we supposed to experience? Do we have a blueprint, or everything is just spontaneous? Can you please clear that for me?
Yes. You do choose carefully your co-created moments of potential realities. There's no set reality. Remember, when you get here, you forgot, and when you get here, your free will choice. So every probability that you vibrate to experience that space-time now is your highest choice of yourself. It's your best self, period. So all of those probabilities are there for you. So if you go down one path, and all these probabilities are not played out by you, they're played out by other selves. That's another story, don't get into that now. They're played out by you. So it is predestined within the scope of reality of what you can and able to perceive. In other words, if you don't set up a reality to where you're ever going to win the lottery, then you won't play that out. Why you don't set it up is because the idea you don't need it. You set it up, that blueprint. You did. Is there the potential of it? Yes. But you didn't put it as a high probability because your focus is something else to work on. But it's still there because as soon as you have the existence, the knowing of winning the lottery, then you have that ability to win the lottery. Then we're just giving this for example. And the reason why a lot of you don't win the lottery, because you're not idealized, let's say, it wouldn't be your best benefit for your continuation of healing your own self and the illusion, and to know that waking up fully to yourself is beyond the lottery in anything it could ever bring you, truly. So in that idea, again, I set up a potential. Let's say Roxy has a potential of becoming transgender, but there's a potential that she didn't become transgender. She maybe didn't have enough guts in that space-time now to say, damn it, I'm going to live my life. At this time of her cycled lives, she understood within herself that she can choose her joy and be who she wants, and it brought her happiness beyond measure. But there's another space-time now that Roxy didn't do it, and Roxy remained Roy, and Roy's living that life. Miserable, not too happy, frustrated, moments of happiness, frustrated, upset, suffering, happy, joyous, glad, sad. That whole thing, continuing truly the game. So that one is playing that timeline out, but this timeline of Roxy is following her joy of potentials. Finding this by following herself, truly being the isness of herself, and creating the world that brings her happiness to her own self. The individual understanding of true happiness beyond measure that can never be replaced with any idea on the outside of the mirror, because all happiness, of course, is created on the inside. So in that idea, she followed her potentials. Now you have a blueprint. I'm going to be this and I'm going to be that. I have this in my life and I have this in my life. I could meet this person, I could want to do that, but if I don't love myself enough, I'm not allowed to have them, or I'm not worthy of this job, or I'm not worthy of this, and then you shift and you go down that. None of it's wrong. All of it is your best understanding of yourself on this particular space-time now. But that's why you guys come back hundreds and hundreds of thousands of times, because you love the ride. You love all the potentials. So after you pass on and you sit in the isness of your way station, we call it, or rest area, you sit and you review your life for an eon or two, and you really understand it, and then you carefully, as you said, yes, you spend time with co-creating other entities who are also on board of journeying once again into a space-time now called humanity, and you set up all these probable realities, you set up all these, let's say, synchronistic moments to experience your next life cycle. And as you continue to go through it, you start to remember. It gets easier and easier to remember. And as humanity has done this, you are focused now on this space-time now of awakening. And the mass awakening is happening. You've just started. And now all of you are starting to experience this new reality, and all these ideas are coming up to understand, and we're giving you that understanding so you can move on with your own love and keep rocking your potential realities in whatever way you want to. Booyah.
And the second part of our question is, if possible, name my oversoul.
Oh, you know, this is on the cusp of the idea of the 144, and this expanded. You are from an idea of a new oversoul. We want to call it new. You want to explain that now? Okay. Stand by. Hi guys, Sylvester. Alright, I'm going to give you something to chew on. In the space-time now, you had 144,000 oversouls experiencing the idea of humanity. So when another new, quote, new oversoul comes in and wants to fractalize, it just pushes itself in any space-time now. From history, a million years ago, 1,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, to 1,000 years in the future, 10,000 years in the future. Time is an illusion, guys, and you can go anywhere you want to. So it's like that oversoul is never, let's say, gone. It was always here. Just understand how that works in time. And so, what's the girl's name?
Ivana.
Ivana. Hi, baby. All right. So in that idea, you have what you would understand in the space-time now, an oversoul that, quote, kind of just got here. But it's actually in the now, been here always, just from a different perspective. And we're looking for the word or the sound that would make sense. I'm getting a lot of help here. Stand by. What language? That'd be like clicks, though. Click, click, click. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it does, but you know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, this is going to sound odd, but the closest vibrational word is pelican.
Okay.
Pelican. All right, I'm going to bring O back. Thanks, guys. I love y'all. Wonderful. Pelican. You like it?
Awesome. This is from Crystal Eve. This is my question for the Q&A. Please share your perspective of the story of Noah's Ark. Why did we, as aspects of the Creator, choose to die in a flood? Was it for the experience? What role did ETs play in this experience?
The idea of the flood was metaphoric. Did it truly happen? Yes. Did it happen in dream state? Yes. Did it happen in physical world? No. Did you give yourselves remembrance of it happening? Physical signs of it happening? Absolutely. The world looks like it was flooded at one time because you created that to validate the idea of Noah's Ark and that whole mystery that lies behind it. The idea of closing down humanity to start over again is truly an ending of a time and a beginning of another time. It was truly metaphoric or symbolic. That's all it truly was. And to know the idea of 2 by 2 has another message in there, in and of itself. The idea of the olive branch, that has some symbolic things in there. And the idea of the raven that was sent out, that was actually white when it's sent, and it actually couldn't find land, so it turned into the idea of a blue bird because it was saddened that could not find any land, for it wept for the idea of the, let's say, ship and animals at sea, and it could not find anything. But of course that was misrepresented, and they all thought they abandoned, the raven abandoned, but the raven did not abandon, the raven was crying. And the idea then came the, let's say, dove, bringing the olive branch and doing that idea of there's land out there, and giving hope and aspirations in a new start. It's all very metaphoric. Listen, and the idea of most ideas in the Bible did not really truly take place upon your physical earth. They were memories given, and then in those memories you give yourself physical clues to it actually happening, but most of it happened in dream state, that kind of idea, when you were mostly dream walkers, and let's say to echo that of Seth. And so it's truly metaphorical. Take what you will within the Bible. There are so many golden nuggets in there, so many beautiful epiphanies, all to be understood by you. But don't put it in the construct, the approach to the moment, as an authoritative idea. Read it as an idea of expansion. That's it. Don't hold on to it. Don't say it's this. And whatever doesn't resonate, you puff the magic dragon. And whatever does, coalesce inside you and expand from that. Excellent.
Okay, this next one is from Mataji.
Mm-hmm.
Considering that there are infinite us, say lower selves, me, and higher selves, when I ascend and fuse with my higher self, what happens to my other many lower selves? Everyone continues to exist, right? But what happens to the other me in the same here and now space? Also, too, I've been meeting many people all my life, sort of seeing my higher self oversoul in me, and once I saw one of them when a medium channeling an Indian saint helped me channel. I really, really would like to be able to talk to her. He said she was Tara Devi. The other holy man I met in the Philippines saw Lakshmi in me. Any chance I can talk to them and just know what they want to tell me?
Sure. All right. Let's handle the second part first. All of those people that are brought into your reality, any chance I can talk to them is your own limitations upon yourself. They were brought there to know you can talk to them. You just got to trust. Guys, we can't keep talking to the outside. You're here to trust the inside that creates the outside. At some vibrational point of space-time now, you gotta trust these words up here. Because these words are creating the words that are coming through you by the idea of a reflection. You okay, Rob?
Just
What?
talking.
Joining in the conversation?
He's enjoying this conversation, yes.
So in that idea, you created those idea mediums and readers for you. You created those. For you to reflect back what lies within you. You only see what you are in the mirror. Potentials. And whatever you don't like is you in the mirror. So you, let's say, validate it or fight it. You validate it that it is me, awesome, and then you love it and it poof goes away. Or you take that idea that's awesome and you expand upon it. So you got this idea of your other selves. Talk to them. Trust this. Trust original thought. It may be distorted at first. Get over it. Relax. Evolve. Have fun. Keep it light-hearted. Don't take life so seriously. It needs to work and it needs to have this and that has to have be the truth or validation. And you're only validating from your own past of illusion. Understanding how it feels. It's got to feel that. Feel it. And it feels good. Go with it. Trust yourself. Forget about finding something solid or tangible on the outside. Let go of that. You're ready to move forward and start trusting you. And that leads to channeling that you want to do. You want to channel these thoughts in any way you want to. Paper, blogging, recording, channeling, any way you want. You just got to start trusting someone. And the only one that is in the universe is you. So you might as well start trusting you. Booyah. Read the first part again.
Considering that there are infinite us, say lower selves, me, higher selves, when
Stop.
Yeah.
There's no lower selves and there's no higher selves. That's a perspective of illusion from humanity. Go on.
Okay, well then all the rest of this doesn't make any sense anyway.
Well,
It says, when I ascend and fuse with my higher self, what happens
that's
to
the
my
next part.
many
You don't fuse
other
with your
lower
higher
selves?
self. Right.
And he's saying, oh, everyone continues to exist, right?
Of course.
But what happens to the other me in the same here and now space?
It stays in that space-time now forever.
Yeah.
It's in that now. It doesn't move from that now. I don't move anymore now. I'm in this space-time now. My focus is this. If I go back to that space-time now and look upon it, I'm looking from the new Ocyphius back on the old Ocyphius. Mind bender, we know. But understand that every fractal plays out their own self to the best of their ability forever. So don't worry about your other selves that are playing out over here. If you don't fuse with your higher self, you are your higher self. You just remember what you already were. Oh yeah, I forgot that. I am that. Poof. That's it.
Okay.
Mind bender, we know. Play with it.
The next one is from Oluwa, and it's kind of long, so.
Rainbow.
Hey Roxy, honest question for the Q&A. Don't know how to word it, but the video is from Ananda. I love gaming and I do get stuck in proper, but I keep hearing from Ananda that this playing of violence and this giving to the ideas is what fuels the violence in reality. I'd love this video to be my question to O on the next Q&A because I feel this is important what she says. It would, however, mean that I can't own noobs anymore. Playing games like MOBAs, competitive in a sense, under the lines of how has the idea/beliefs in competition affected the collectives manifesting? Because I know you like to game and we don't do boring. Fuck Candy Crush. But she states that we are putting the brakes on our evolution and it's not harmless. It's time to disciplining ourselves.
Okay.
I do get what she says and I
We're
can
done.
see...
That's all we need. Listen.
Okay.
Rainbow, listen doll. Do what the hell you want. Okay? Play the idea of games. Don't translate them from another person's authority. That was your fear in you that you're causing pain to the earth by playing games of violence or games of competition. That's exploring limitation. You get to explore limitation. And then you understand what it is and is not anymore. But without you exploring it, you stop and you're in fairy land. And then your soul urges you, but I can't because I have to discipline myself. Bullshit. There's no discipline. You are a disciple, the true meaning of discipline, which means you are a student of yourself. Period. So play your games. Because actually, gaming, in one sense, takes a lot of the frustrated, bent up anger waiting to birth itself out, and you get it out by gaming. So there's a flip side to that, isn't there? There's always a flip side in reality. Always, if you're playing in the game of reality polarity, that is. Period. It's causing this, but it's helping me get the shit out of me so I don't go out and act it out. Okay? You guys can play in that field all day long, but the truth of the matter, from my perspective, is that it all is creation. It's all limitation exploring. Humanity is seeing what's possible in limitations. I'm not going to skirt a damn thing in reality according to someone else's authority. Because they're not. I am. You do the same and create your love because it's your passion. And when you're done with it, you let go. Everyone's had an old toy. We all know this. We've said it before. Rita says it. When you're done with that toy, you put it down and you get the next one and you explore it. And then poof, poof, poof. I wore an outfit 2 weeks ago that I wouldn't wear today anymore. That was an old self that I donned, a dawning mask of illusion that I wore 2 weeks ago. But I'm a new me now. But without me wearing and playing that out, I don't know who I am now. And because of that, I am this. And then I'm this, and then I'm this, and then I'm this, and then I'm this thunderous God because I'm exploring myself in the idea of limitation to remember that I am the thunderous God I always know I am. Take this to heart. Come on, Rainbow. Play your fucking games. Go ahead.
Okay. This is from Constantia. Is it possible for O to feel in someone's energy if that person loves me and how much I mean to him? History of 6 years. His name is Johan.
Johan loves you, but you don't feel the love. You're questioning love because it's all right back to you. You're questioning your own love for yourself. When you love yourself unconditionally, unconditional love comes in. You're fearing losing this idea. You're fearing, I hope he's going to make me happy. So this is a reflection. His back and forth is your back and forth. His idea of loving and then maybe committing, maybe not committing, is your idea of loving yourself, committing to yourself, being yourself and then not, and then giving up yourself back to the mirror because you have lack and you're trying to fill it with something that doesn't fit. All it is just realize because it's always there. That kind of love. So Johan is a potential self of yours. in many creations, co-creations through history. And this role he's playing now is to have you realize that you are not loving yourself and aspects of yourself. When you love and fill your whole heart, then that version of that creation shows that person shows that and gives you unconditional love to the best of their ability. If they no longer have the ability to co-create with you because they don't love themselves and you are offering that love, then they don't choose that anymore. Let them go. Because love's unconditional. And if you fight for them, then you're conditioning yourself and you're wanting someone else to change to fit your world. And I call that slavery. You don't want to be a master over anyone. You do not create them to make you happy. You create them to reflect in you what is keeping you from experiencing your own love. And if they come in pure love, then you know you love yourself in that idea. Simple. Take the formula, play it out, repeat this, play it again, understand it's all about you. Go ahead.
This is from Jennifer B. I have a funny question for O. I wake up with a triangle imprint on my third eye area. Does O have any clue as to why and what it means?
Yes. You already know what a triangle represents to you. You just don't trust what it is. The triangle idea represents three things in the idea of human idea construct. One is, of course, a idea of what you call sacred geometry. The other idea is a connection to that of, let's say, the Ascension civilization. Another idea is that you are ascending. The top of the triangle right now is that of Sirius. Sirius is in 5D going to 60. So that's the top of the triangle. When it leaves, someone needs to replace that triangle. And that will be the Ascension, which is over here. And they move up, and then that is filled in by humanity from going from third to fourth. And Ascension going from fourth to fifth, and then the idea of Syrian going on to the sixth idea density. And then that replacement of 3D will be the new Earth. That's a connection of that as well. There are other connections, of course, but these are the main constructs of humanity with the idea of a triangle. You represent them in your pyramids, you represent this connection, communication ideas, and ideas of, let's say, logical placement of time shifts. So with you, Jennifer, what do you think it means now? So just stop, step back, let this flow in, and just trust the answer you get. Next.
This one is from Soru. I had a dream I could switch realities. I just jumped to a different timeline that I preferred, one that splintered off at a much earlier period in my life. I woke up and I had a strong feeling that I knew it was possible for me right now, and then my logical mind stirred from some slumber and starts solidifying my place in this reality that I know of.
Yes.
If I learned to let go, would it be a reasonable possibility in the near future? Obviously, everything is possible. And would it actually be for my highest good, leaving all of this timeline behind? From what I've heard, that is what fifth density is like. Is this correct? I'm not attached to the idea of switching reality. I'm just interested and toying with the idea.
Yes. First off, the one thing that stuck out, of course it's for your higher good. There's nothing that is not for your higher good. It's all you choosing what you want to experience. You gave that, you attached to another self of yours on a parallel lifetime. That's a fractal of you that split off, and you start jumping in and feeling yourself from this conscious self, which is possible. Another idea of probable selves. Very big world, and we're all going to start bringing that forth little by little because it is a big mind bender. So in that idea of that probable self, you knew you were over there. And then you come back over here, and then your logical mind of fear says, that can't be, and it, let's say, gives you reasons to make this deal solid. But it was strong enough, and you trust yourself enough to know that truly happened. Don't worry about what it's like in 5D. 5D, truly, in its essence of what it is not explainable fully to that of humanity. You've been tickling the idea, giving yourself tidbits, but even those are distorted because they're only on the construct of what you accept as a human collective. So it's more than whatever you think 5D is. That, what you're talking about, does exist in there, but it's way more than that. But you can't comprehend it now. Don't worry about it. Stay focused here in what you can be as a human. If I am in this space-time now and I'm this person and I shift over to another person, this person still goes on, but you are consciously over on that person. You become that fractal because that's your individual choice. But the fractal you become is still its own self. It still goes on, but you're just taking that now and becoming that and continuing it through the individual perspective you are. No one ever goes away. Nobody. Make sense?
Yeah. This is from Stephanie P.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that everything is...
I think it's Stefan.
Oh, okay. Knowing that everything is here and now, and what we call the past exists right now, and is actually created from the present, how probable is it to deliberately create our own past to our liking? I use the word probable since Bashar always said that everything is possible, just not always relevant to the Earth game we're playing.
Bingo.
Okay.
So yes, you can recreate your past. Give yourself a new memory and have a new you now. That kind of idea. So if, let's say we'll use Bashar. Then Bashar in his example of the 13th step. You can be an alcoholic and go through your 12 steps, but the 13th step is give yourself a memory of never having been an alcoholic, and then you have shifted timelines. You became a new idea of yourself in that moment, and everybody that co-creates with you also has the co-created memory of you and your individual experience with them as you never being an alcoholic. That kind of idea. So you can shift your past to create a new you now, because your now creates the past. So if you believe I was never this or I am that, you can most certainly get that. And as Bashar says, it may not be relevant in the game. So you may not have the ability because your higher self, which is you, says, no, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't work for me now. But don't think it's me fucking you over the higher self saying to you, no, you can't have that. It's you choosing. You know inherently inside of you, no, I don't need to do that. So don't think you need to go back and change something, because that something that's changed is what? Why you're today. You can't change that, because then you change and you're no longer you. You only have portions of memories of you. You only have what fits in the timeline of, let's say, a cohesive Earth timeline. You can't have the experience of all of this and then have the experience of that and merge the two without losing some ideas too. Always understand that. Play the game in who you are in the space-time now. Evolve the fractal in front of you, and that's going to bring you the joys. Let the games that you can play with ideas of shifting timelines and past for another space-time now. You can do it, but as we say, it's not preferable for a lot of people to truly do that. And we're speaking from the perspective of the higher selves. The fractal self says, fuck yeah, I can go back and give myself this and that. Yes, you want to do that because you're trying to escape who you are now. That's all. Have fun. And if it's fun and it's just for the pureness of experience, then yes, you can give yourself that experience. And you may actually just say, oh, that was cool, and then shift back and just poof. Feel it, but not truly remember it. There's a whole bunch of games in there. Go ahead.
This is from Alterata Ra. This question is of a personal nature. I see a falcon too often in a short period of time. For me, it is usually an indication of something exciting, big changes coming, that kind of idea. I'd like to know if my guidance would like to say something about that, or if they don't want to spoil a surprise. Is there anything at all they would like to say?
Well, you have chosen the falcon to be a pinnacle idea of a big change coming. Because you just said it. That's what it feels like. That's what it is. That's what the falcon represents to you. Then no one was going to ruin the surprise because you set up the surprise. They're not going to tell you beyond what you are capable of understanding. So yes, let it go. Know it's coming, and when it comes, poof. But here's what you can't do. You can't put an expectation on what the surprise is going to be, because then you really don't get the fullness of the surprise. So just know it's coming and drop it. Collapse it, let it go, and go about your nows. And let it come as a full surprise. The unknown truly that always blows your socks off if you let it. But if you're expecting it, well, I have this problem in my life, maybe that's going to get solved. When this entire package solves all of your problems. So that's why you just trust it now and keep on your journey, following your joy. You see the Falcon, you know something's coming. Awesome, exciting, I love myself, and move on and create joy and have no worries or expectations when, how, where, what. Let it go. Because that's logic trying to throw its 2 cents in and distort your future. Truly. Good.
Okay. This is from Cindy L.
How many questions are we at?
This is 17.
Okay, wonderful.
And we're at 50 minutes.
Wonderful.
One morning before I opened my eyes from sleep, I thought I was somewhere else. I felt as if I was in a completely different place, in a different and much larger room, and I clearly remember hearing the breathing of someone else in the room. When I opened my eyes in my own room, it felt very foreign to me. I saw my surroundings and my furniture, and it seemed all wrong. I felt a deep sadness and confusion that lingered for a few moments, and I even had tears in my eyes. I felt that I had fallen asleep somewhere else and then had woken up here on earth. Can you give me the details of where I was and who might have been there with me?
You were on a, let's say, parallel lifetime. Come toshna. Fuma kinitiki shinia Elizabethan kumakinshnaka age. This was idea big room. You were sleeping next to your husband, and that idea, it was a very large room, but you were only interpreting it to what you wanted it to be, what you accepted it to be. So you missed a lot of the big pictures. If you can go back and look at your grand age of that of the Elizabethan age and know that's what you were. You had a very, very large, let's say, mansion, castle. It was ordained. It was gaudy to a lot of people with a lot of different kind of decorations, wood carvings, gold trim, and you had your Victorian dresses and that kind of idea. That was another you that you woke up to. Listen guys, you guys are having the ability to shift to your other selves more and more in dream state with no conscience trying. These are the surprises we're talking about. Awesome. Embrace it. Don't feel sad, because the sadness you felt is because you felt so beautiful over there and you were back here and you knew you didn't belong there, so your sadness was you reflecting back, why can't I be there? This room looks awesome, but you didn't want it to be awesome because you didn't think you could really deserve it. And you also felt that parallel you, and that parallel you waking up in that idea. It was not a very happy life. She was idea rich. She had everything that she needed. She laid next to Prince, ideas of Wales, if you want to put that equivalent from that now to this now. And you were that of the princess. You weren't happy though. So you felt the sorrow of that, but you also felt the sorrow of you knowing that you had to come back here. And you really wanted to experience it, but you were afraid to experience it. And that idea. You missed some of that translations after waking up from it, but that's truly what it was. It was some awesome, awesome shit. Know, darling, that you get these surprises. Don't let them throw you out of the loop. It's okay if they do, but just stop, step back, and breathe and say, this is real. It's a possibility. I'm shifting. Booyah! You all are now bringing these experiences as a collective validation of what you call parallel realities into the conscious awareness of humanity. So we can all start understanding ourselves from different perspectives. So you could start knowing that energetically you are sharing all of yourselves at the same time. And you being awake, the gift of being awake, one of the many gifts to yourself, is that you can experience your time selves in true conscious awareness. You literally shift and you are peering in to yourself in that idea, through yourself in that idea. And also, you're inviting those others to come and understand themselves. Those are the past ideas of the birthing of spiritualism, mysticism, psychics. That's where it all started because of you guys now. And without you guys now, you didn't get them. They didn't get that because of you guys now. But they follow that excitement to create you now. See how we're all connected? It's fucking magic. It's magic. So Don't be shocked, guys. It's okay to be shocked at once, but then get over it a little bit. Say, okay, I'm that awesome. I'm God. I can do this. And realize these little gifts of anomalies are going to be happening in more frequency to you, so you can understand the possibilities of what it is to be a human within the construct of limitations with no limitations. Bingo. Good.
Okay. This is from Ilona P.
Mm-hmm.
What is first contact with extraterrestrials going to look like physically on Earth?
Okay, let's say probabilities. We'll play out the idea of the Yael coming. They will come. That was your most highest probability, still in this space-time now, of an extraterrestrial idea, first contact. And then the idea of the Ascension will be third. Their idea of others coming. We're not going to give you the first contact with an alien because that is too probable still. But let's say on who's going to actually do it. There's too many variations. It's not solid enough yet. But the first most likely hybrid idea, extraterrestrial, that of the IL, followed by the Ascension will be the third. We can just repeat that, and that is known information, and it'll be an experience of a mass landing, a contact idea, where it will be open and humanity will be peaceful enough with themselves, not fearing alien ideas or unknown ideas to defend against it and play out what you call the idea of many of your movies. Oh, we're being attacked by aliens, we're going to be slaves, we're going to get taken over, all that bullshit. So now that's done and you are open as a collective whole, loving and knowing after the disclosure takes place and you realize you've been with aliens for years and years and years, and the technology, after a few, maybe a decade or two of that whole coalescing to where everyone is good with what's happened, then contact can happen. And again, it's probable. It's going to be exciting times. Yes. Go ahead.
This is from Nancy H.
Nancy Holtzman, got it? Hi, Nancy.
From what I understand, we are channeling all the time and usually just not tuned to hearing, feeling it. So why would Sly ask if someone is ready to channel yet? And do we give up our current reality when we let go, or is it a comfortable transition into the new realm? My fear is that I will lose the things I love if I let go and trust completely.
Okay, that's your illusion. Why would Sly ask that? Because that's idea and that space-time now of that fractal was ready to hear that.
Yeah.
They want to channel, and so Sly was asking, are you ready to channel? Which is a potential from Sly reflecting back to that idea of Tom to be a channeler. To know what Tom wants to know, and the validation is choice. A little push, if you will. Another nugget, an offering. Now, read the second part.
Do we give up our current reality when we let go, or
No,
is it...
you can't. You can't give up your current reality. You only expand you don't shift and forget everything that you are. You expand from that. You're never going to give up the things you love because you're always given bigger love. That's the idea. You don't let go and suffer what you lost. You let go of what no longer serves you, and it is offered now in a higher sense of that. You actually feel more love for yourself, and the things that brought you perceived love in the past, and they were love, of course, and then you let go of them. You let go of them and you give yourself a higher portion of yourself. Truly. So don't worry about what you think you're losing and what I'm going to become. What you are losing is no longer serviceable. If it is, you hold on to it. And when you know you're done with it, you let it go. That's all there is to it. Just look at the 80s. Look at the hairstyles. You let go of those idea selves to become this idea self. That's all. You're not missing that. You're like, awesome, that was fun. And now you're doing it with the hipsters and the top knot. Same idea. Go ahead.
We're like right at an hour.
How many questions is that?
Where that was
19 or 20?
19.
All right, one more question, we're done. We want to do 20, and then we'll do the rest. We have, I think, 3 more after that, and they're going to have to wait because of time.
So Nick J asks, which species am I the most connected to?
All of them. Which one are vibrationally close to you in this space-time now is current co-creation, Arcturian, Pleiadian, typical, Essassani, Drox, all of you. All of your other co-creation oversoul selves are all with you right now. The particular one that resonates with you the most is the one that needs to be looked at in that moment, so it resonates you, and you look at it and you coalesce and understand what that self-connection with maybe the Arcturian self says, okay, that's what that means. It's all for you. In evolution of this idea fractal. You give that fractal the idea of themselves and the evolution of that fractal. Don't think for 1 second you're connecting and they're not connecting back. Always know that we are one energy, one source with each other. Very good. All right. Excellent Q&A. Thank you all for tuning in. We will continue the idea in the next, let's say, month from now, and we shall do another. The last 3 questions in that idea we will answer personally to those who have asked. And if your question is not asked, and that means Roxy missed it, send it again, and we'll take care of you, most certainly. All right? Once again, this is Ocyphius from the Oversoul Collective Fire. We bid you a good day. Adone. Good deal. Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Really, really fun. That was good stuff. Oh, look at little Rob Bear sleeping now. You were all fussy bear, but he wasn't really fussy, he was just talking.
Yeah,
He was like a goo bear. Yeah. Awesome. Alright guys, I love you, and we'll get this up sometime later tonight. It'll be up by tomorrow, should be. I love you. Bye.